right, welcome once again to the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge with your host, the Cosmic Messenger. I've been away for a little while, for a couple months. It's also good to soak up the previous medicines and videos that were there in my channel, and anybody else who takes a break from doing stuff online. Mine was because I moved my entire living situation and upgraded to a fantastic new divine home. So I was taking some time to process all that, get it all set up, and then also I like to take little breaks sometime to let all of the sacred wisdoms and medicines run its course. So it's a pleasure to be here with you guys once again. And well, today is a very special day because today is the Lionsgate portal. What is the Lionsgate portal? Now, that's not the whole thing I'm going to be talking about. There's a different mission for this video, but because today's a special day, I wanted to share that as well too. So the Lionsgate portal is about a 3-week vortex, and on the 8/8, which is August 8th today, with a numerology of 88, which is a fantastical number with your inner authority, your personal power, your abundance factors. It's an activation portal for the sun, the earth, and Sirius. Yeah, starseeds know that one very well, and they line up, and that creates a galactic portal opening. Throughout the year, we always have a lot of intense energies coming in and big changes, having to work on ourselves, and it's hard-hitting stuff, right? With the Lionsgate, I find it to be a lot more powerful and beautiful, big energies. And the vibrations are really high, but I find it to be a more expansive, beautiful time. The Leo energies, of course, coming through there as well, too. This is a time where the 2222 higher consciousness codes come through, 12-strand DNA shifts, 9th and 12th dimensional templates, which include all the other dimensions previous to it in there, activations of the Lightbody, and also too, in a good way, like emotions that come up, but ones where you feel so much better after you get it out of yourself. So this is a yearly cycle that occurs. Today's a very special day. So look up to the stars and just feel into yourself and see what kind of magic and wonder comes your way. And feel free to go online and just check out what other people have to say too. There's lots of information about it out there. So today, this video is a fun one. I wanted to chat with you guys today about Archangels, Ascended Masters, and Interdimensionals. Interdimensionals being spirit guides, familiars, elementals, and other beings that you meet along your cosmic journey through your galactic timelines, and you interact with them, not necessarily in the human form. So let's start with the Archangels. So there's a lot of them. There's a series of them. I don't know the exact number of how many there are. The Orosoma system has a great way of showing you all of them throughout the colors that they work on. So it's a fantastic way. So Archangels, what are they? So that's when you're working on yourself down here in your avatar soul body, in your biosuit, being a human being, or on other planets working through your dimensional shifts, you do reach a point where then you've activated your light body, your double Merkaba is kicked on, you've had so many lifetimes, you've gone through the karmic work. Then you go to these other levels. The first level is the Ascended Masters, after you've completed your incarnational role, okay? Though you still can incarnate at that point. We'll get to that one in a sec. Now, Archangels are another level above that. And some say for some of them are near the guardianship of Prime Creator, which is all that is, right? So the Archangels are ones that you call upon to work with you when you feel ready and drawn to them. And you may not even have heard of them, but the day you do hear about them, you may feel called to them, or it could be many galactic lifetimes later, or it could be a quantum shift. And it's 3 solar years later, you're like, whoa, this just hit me again. I remember when I interacted with that. Archangels are, a lot of them are guardians of a lot of the stuff that exists in our multiverse. So one of the most common ones that people know about is Archangel Michael, which has the sword, the shield, and the chalice, right? And Archangel Michael is a guardian of Earth. and probably has so many more tasks than the human being has ever calculated. So that's why whatever I share in these videos, go find all sorts of medicines out there and information. I myself, just my own take, I like to add them all together, the highest vibrational ones I can find. And if something gets knocked out, then it gets knocked out, including the stuff that I know. So Archangel Michael, yeah, a guardian of Earth, right? You have Archangel Metatron, which is like the caretaker of the Akashic records, like the being that sits around all of that's been created in that zone. There's Archangel Raphael, Uriel, Sandalphon. Oh, there's so many. Like the list just keeps going. Azrael, A-Z-Real, from A to Z, what is real? And they all have these different tasks that work to. Oh, it's almost like the energetic angel watch over of all of creation, and they all have these different functions. I would say when people talk about universal laws, that goes into those sacred geometrics and works with them. To call upon archangels, right? And to bring them into your life and to have them resonate with you, it's a matter of speaking to them. Say their name 3 times. That's a medicine that I will always recommend, a healing tool, a modality for metaphysical enjoyment, is get in there and say things 3 times. Having like a trine with stuff, a trio, is very powerful for bringing stuff in. Think about it lots. Ask for, if you don't know which archangel to pick, you can go just like do some research, read some books, check online, do whatever you need to do, talk to some people, go to a metaphysical bookstore, and go in there and start to look and explore and feel it out. There's really no rush. The right information, the right wisdom, and the right knowledge will all come in when you're ready. And then go searching for it. You can also expand on it through thinking it in your mind or visualizing what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be that specific archangel, but the area that you want to touch base on, right? When you bring them in, though, it becomes it's some of the most powerful stuff you could ever work from. It all comes from a love-centered heart frequency, right? And these archangels are detached from all, they're detached but attached to all of existence. So it's not one area, one philosophy, one specific spirituality that says, hey, that's where they come from, this is what they're doing. They're learning and they're growing too. But there's been an achievement factor of where they've made it to that point, so that they can hold some of the energetic waves for us, the master templates of our emotions, the frequencies that bind Earth together, holding the Akashic records, right? Taking care of sacred geometry as well too. I personally work with Archangel Metatron a lot. Okay, so that's a little bit about the archangels. They will at times appear to you in various forms. You may get your own versions of communications just because somebody sees one, or another one feels one near them, or another one gets visualizations, like when you're in a daydreaming state, and maybe some like sacred geometry enters through, and who knows, there could be some hands and some colors. They're all equal. Not one is better than the other. But these are amazing tools to keep around, and this is like, when we exit our body and then start to see with new eyes, we will see all of the other things that exist. Where there's like, we think there's so much in the material world, it is absolutely a pin drop in comparison to how much else exists. So that's going on there. So then we have the Ascended Masters. Now these Ascended Masters are beings that have incarnated on Earth and have done the work and have incarnated on other planets, but today we're focusing on the Earth ones that have done the work. We say go up, yes, they've done the work. They keep incarnating, they come back, and then all of a sudden they reach this masterful state where in that lifetime they've completed that sequence of events, that karmic healing, that universal love, compassion, whatever they're working on, to get to a place where then they can become accessible points and be able to incarnate on will. So the most popular one, right, I say popular, most well known, is Christ consciousness, the Emerald Heart, right? What's another one? Saint Germain, right? The master of incarnating, coming back in many forms to show us different ways of being along the way. Also, like masterful music and this and that, right? Like some say Beethoven, right? Come back as that. So there's different incarnations that have happened over the years. And we tend to view these characters, these beings, these amazing creations, these star seeds, as having massive amounts of wisdom. And if I am you and you are it, then there's a part of us in it anyways. So that's where the judgment goes, right? And that's one of the biggest works that they've done in order to keep transmitting the messages of how we get ourselves at our highest vibration possible, and also get ourselves out of the mess that we're on Earth. So yeah, Saint Germain is another one. Kutumi, Kuan Yin is another one. Jual Kul, Hilarion. The list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So when you're working with an ascended master as well too, sometimes you might feel that you've met somebody in this lifetime that is just absolutely so fantastic in every possible way that perhaps maybe they've just reached that status where they're going to start to enter that form of work. Now, just because these ascended masters have left doesn't mean they may not come back again in another form, right? Masters of reincarnation, coming back, entering the light body, coming back down to earth. And we mean light body where we're fully leaving the physical but holding a form. And then they do their various work up in the cosmos in the higher dimensions. That's everything past the 12th dimension. And the same sequence is how you connect with them, like you do with the Archangels. Ask for them to join in and come with you on an adventure to learn some fantastical stuff. Because both the Archangels and the Ascended Masters, they can work with as many beings as they want at one time. So say I'm channeling to work with Hilarion, and somebody else who lives in the same city as me or area is asking for them as well, and then somebody over in, because I'm down in Victoria, BC, right? So somebody else goes, oh, they're in Japan, and they ask for it. You'll all get to work simultaneously, and none of it will be interrupted. Crystals are another great way to do it too. I have a video on Merlinite. Check that one out. That's a great way to connect into Ascended Masters. Moldavite is another one as well too. You can work with crystals. You can do have a sage, Palo Santo, sweetgrass ceremony with yourself to bring these energies in and through. You can seek modalities that bring your vibration closer to that level. You can leave yourself open for the day that's ready. Also, saying the name 3 times again is a big one, right? So this goes for everything we're about to talk about in the whole video. Now, interdimensionals as well too. Interdimensionals, in this case, there's many different ones that you can meet along your path. Again, people talk to me lots, but I get auditory experiences and lights flashing. So I can feel a being and get a tone in an energetic wave. Like, whoa, there it is right there. Well, that's my spirit guides here. Well, that's one form of an interdimensional. And you are an interdimensional too, right? Especially when you do astral travel. But the interdimensionals tend to come in and out of the astral planes, I find. So coming from the 4th and 6th dimensions, and then entering into the 3rd and the 5th on Earth. So you have your spirit guides that you interact with in multiple different ways. Each one's unique to each person. Then there's familiars, and so people will have their pets around, their animals around their house, and they'll go, I'm really connected to that one, this special cat of mine, this dog, whatever it is. And it feels, and you've had maybe many pets, animals in your life throughout your existence, or existences in many different human forms. And then you realize, but I'm extra connected to this one. It's kind of like a spirit guide. It follows me around everywhere I go, and it's like pinned to me. That's your familiar. That's like the guardian of... So you have that in your physical form, right? With the pet beside you, your animal, I call them your family, your beautiful, loving beings. But then you have also familiars that come in purely energetic form. So your master familiar, which is your physical one, then can communicate communicate with the ones from the astral planes. And they come in 2 different forms. They come in familiars and they come in elementals. Right? The Fade, all that realm. And the familiars come and give you different pieces of information from the animal and nature kingdom from all of our galaxy. And then if you go deeper, it's the universe and then nature from the multiverse. So working with them is key too as well. Sometimes they just kind of find you at the right time too. You don't always have to go necessarily like looking for it. It'll just, your eyes, your senses, where you're at in your ascension process, it will come and find you. It's really cool stuff. So they enter through there and then periodically become a physical form. Hence when you see something go by you and you're like, oh yeah, that bird, then it was gone. And not because it flew by your face fast, but because it interdimensionally traveled and had time to show itself, because certain dimensions, when you're coming from more astral realm like dimensions or the higher ones are coming down, it takes a lot more energy to enter into the physical. So you got those going as well. So you got your familiars, and then you have other interdimensionals. And these other interdimensionals are, you're hanging out, you're doing your life, you're doing things, you got an activity you really love, and all of a sudden, boom, you meet somebody, you're like, you're really cool, I want to hang out with you. You guys become friends. You end up interacting with each other in any different form that occurs. Sometimes they're just an in-public social buddy. Sometimes it's a deep connecting that you give a call once in a while, right? Or you call all the time. So, take yourself out of the human body and into a more energetic form, and then you meet these interdimensionals. You're like, you're really cool, I like you, right? We always told ourselves as kids, we were told as kids, that was just your imagination. But those other beings that exist in other dimensions or on other planets attempting to speak to us through various different forms, tapping onto our higher self to say, hey, we're here. You might meet a buddy in that realm, and then you end up having a friend in the astral realms, a friend in a different dimension, come in and have different stuff that they want to interact with you as well. I find all of this stuff to be cosmic medicine, but also there can be some variance playtime that can occur with those interdimensionals as well too. You might even meet up from them when you're in this physical, and then you do a dream state or an astral travel, right? You've linked into your etheric body, your astral body goes out, and then it goes from there. So communicating with them too. For some people, maybe at first it even might be a little bit intense. And for some, it might even be a little bit freaky. I find it to be very colorful, magical, and mystical. Maybe not as much as when I was a child when the lights were off, but every other time it was okay. So ease into it for yourself, and if you want to have fear, be scared, that's something you'll eventually have to transmute, hence why it's finding you. But it is still something that you do need to eventually work through so that you can bring in this galactic equation and just be comfortable being like, okay, there's beings everywhere, filling all space of all of reality through the entire chain of the universal life force energies that come through everything. It's pretty awesome. So you have Archangels you can go look up and get some medicine that way. There's Ascended Masters. I mean, this can keep you busy for a few years, right? And then you have Interdimensionals, which is familiars, your spirit guides, other people's spirit guides, and the elemental realm. And so the elemental realm, the last one I wanted to let you know about, is, so take all of the substance that makes up nature from the first and the second dimension, which cross hairs with all dimensions. And those, they're like guardians, right? Guardians and the essence and also the being, the aliveness of the rocks, of the trees, the plants, right? They all have elementals that have information and medicine. When you hear of like fire, earth, air, and water, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual realms of the elementals, they're giving you that information, which then links back into the very ground that you're standing on. And as much as we all want to go cosmic sometimes and like be able to channel and be psychic and do all that stuff, we're all still standing on this ground as long as we have a body on Earth. and sitting out in nature and spending some time with them. And sometimes this might take months or years to get there. You might get a response right away. But sitting out in nature, that is the ultimate way to get connected to it. And with all the medicines I'm sharing today and all the different, I'll call them creatures, the wonderful beings that make up creation, in order to connect with them, one of the best ways to do it, no matter what I said today, is to meditate, relax, go sit in nature, and take as much time as you need to feel into them coming into you. We're all breathing the same air. We're all sharing our vibrations with each other. Protect yourself at all times. Nothing to be concerned about in that realm majorly, unless you're going down one spiral path. But I always throw in the keep yourself protected. Ask for the highest good to be coming for you and beings that are only going to work for your maximum vibrational upshift, and that you no longer and do not invite anybody else into your world that has not passed through your own personal filter. It is your life, it is your creation, and you do what you need to do with it, okay? So thanks for sitting down and watching this video. It's glad I was able to put something back out there, and we'll chat with you all very soon. Have an awesome, beautiful day. Cosmic, the Lionsgate portal to you.